I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be why men must lead. Well, I've got an email here from a viewer, and it's kind of one of those emails that makes you shake your head, and you'll see why in a minute when we get to it. But before we get into it, I got a quote I'd like to share on this particular topic, because this guy is basically ignoring reality. And as Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And that's part of the way it is in the dating world. It's like men and women respond to what they respond to. You can either embrace that or you can ignore it and continue to struggle. And so let's go ahead, and I got a quote I'd like to share with you before we get into it. And it says, women are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually designed to receive men. Part of being a man means being a leader who penetrates the world with his strength, purpose, and presence. Women open up to receive men and their strength. Women find men who have the confidence to be direct and go for what they want without fear of rejection to be sexy. A man who is timid, shy, fearful, and unsure of himself acts more like a woman than a man. That is why weak men have a hard time creating attraction and seducing the women they want. So let's get into his email here. He says, "Hi Corey, I have a woman-related problem and I need your help. I just can't understand why me, as a man, has to be the one who must make the first move to a woman." Well, let me ask you this. Obviously, you've had this theory for a while, and you wouldn't have shown up at my website if you were really successful with women. You're obviously struggling, and you're probably reading a lot of the stuff that I talk about. Maybe you've read my book yet, maybe you haven't. And it's completely contradictory towards the way you believe things were and the way things are. And so if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to continue to get what you've always got. And if you're happy with that, then keep doing what you're doing. But obviously you wouldn't be here. It's like people don't come to me because things are going great in their life. They come to me because something is going sideways or is a little squirrely. He says, why do I have to be the one who must create attraction and not her? Well, look at it this way. Women spend all the time getting their hair done and their nails done and picking out 5 or 6 outfits or trying on 5 or 6 different outfits before they decide on which one that they're going to wear. They get their hair done. I mean, they do all of these things to make themselves sexually attractive to a man, to get the attention of a man, because women know that us guys are visual creatures, and so therefore they go out of their way to make themselves extra visually appealing to us. I mean, think about it. When it comes to sex, it's her attractiveness, her beauty, her sex appeal that causes you to get an erection. And if you've ever been in a situation where maybe you're having a rough day or whatever and you just had a hard time getting it up, a woman's going to take that as a rejection. If you have a hard time getting an erection with her, a lot of women are going to automatically assume it's, well, you don't find them attractive anymore, or you just simply don't find them sexually attractive enough, and they can take it as a rejection. So from the physical standpoint, they're physically designed to receive a fully erect man. And the fully erect man is also a man who it penetrates her with his strength. I mean, think about it. It's really common sense when you look at it from that perspective. And he continues on. He says, I mean, we're in 2013, not 1400. I believe that nowadays women are more independent. They have their own businesses. They have the same rights as men, so why can't they be more aggressive when it comes to initiating conversation with men? Well, they will at times, but you've got to display the characteristics, the body language, the physiology of a man who is strong, a man who is used to getting what he wants. Now, women will come up to you and chat with you, but 99.9% of them are not going to come right out and ask you out on a date. Now, some of them will, but it really depends on how you carry yourself, or maybe your reputation has preceded you and they know you have a lot of options with women, so a lot of women throw themselves at you, but at the end of the day, you're the one that physically will penetrate them in the bedroom. It's your strength that penetrates them. That's what they like about a man. That's the sexual polarity there. And it's true that men and women both have masculine and feminine energy, but women tend to be more in a feminine essence, and men tend to be more in a masculine essence. And masculine energy is about purpose, drive, mission, succeeding, accomplishing, breaking through barriers. That's part of sex. Having intercourse is breaking through her barriers. You can't penetrate a woman if you don't have a heart on. I mean, it's as simple as that. He says, I just believe that it's unfair for a man to always have to make the first move. Well, the only one you can really complain to is the Creator. That's the way we are. And the thing is, if women didn't have this opposite sexual polarity, you wouldn't be attracted to them. You wouldn't even want to hang out with them. You wouldn't feel a sexual attraction towards them. That's part of the beauty of the difference of the sexes, is that there's a difference in energy. There's a difference about how we both approach life. Now, a woman who has a career and has a business, she's going to move into her masculine during the day when she's achieving and she's succeeding. There's a lot of attractive women that are very successful, and they're like, you look at like a Marissa Mayer, who's the CEO of Yahoo, or a Sheryl Sandberg, who's the COO of Facebook. These women have families, they raise children, and they lead multi-billion-dollar companies, but they still look beautiful. They still take care of themselves. They're still attractive. They still do girly things, even though they're able to successfully move into their masculine energy when it comes to leading the companies that they're in charge of. And so that, to me, is a woman who has a balance over her own essence. She doesn't let the masculine essence dominate her, but she allows her full feminine essence to be exhibited and expressed, but also they're both pretty comfortable in their own masculinity, because that's part of masculine energies: purpose, drive, mission, succeeding, accomplishing, breaking through barriers. He says, it's not like we're animals and there's the male lion which must kill all the competition from the other males so that it can conquer and get the female. He says, it seems selfish, at least to me. He says, I know that if I don't ever approach a woman first, chances are that I'll never get something going for me. But I just can't accept the fact that I must be the one who's got to make all the effort. It's not that you make all the effort, but you got to act like a man. And what I'm ascertaining from your email here is that you're used to not being the leader. Maybe you had a very domineering mother. Maybe you were raised exclusively by your mother, and so you haven't learned how to really be a man and be comfortable being a leader, so to speak. And this tells me that you're shy and you're timid and you're kind of sitting on your ass waiting for somebody else. Like it's like cognitive dissonance. I did a video on that a while back. It's like you see the way things are, but it's like you don't like it, and you don't like the reality of the way things are, but yet you're not happy with where you are in life. And so you want to be able to say, well, you don't want to take any responsibility for your shyness. You don't want to take any responsibility for the fact that you have a problem going up and talking to other women. You want to just complain about the nature of reality instead of doing something about it. And that is further you exhibiting a feminine quality. That's not a masculine quality. You sound like a woman with what you've written here. He says, and I know what you might say, it's just that they are shy, or that they play hard to get, or that they don't have confidence, or are afraid of rejection, or whatever. But believe me, I've seen women with none of those problems. Well, it's like, I don't agree with that statement. I wouldn't say that at all. I just gave a couple examples of two attractive, very feminine women who do a very good job of also running companies, which is masculine energy that it takes to do that. So he says, so my question is, what should I do? Should I accept the selfish belief that women have, or should I just wait until someone talks to me? Well, you can wait, but you're going to be waiting and you're going to be single for a long time. And at the end of the day, if you started, it's like you're afraid to do anything. It's like you're suffering the paralysis of analysis. And if you want to sit on the sidelines for the rest of your life and wait for the perfect woman to walk up to you and ask you out on a date and take all of her clothes off and take all of your clothes off and say, okay, get hard, now penetrate me. I mean, the chances are that of you finding somebody like that are slim to none, dude, because at the end of the day, you want to act like a woman acts. And that's why you've had a hard time and you've struggled so much in your personal life, is because you're acting more like a woman, and that's not attractive. It doesn't mean you have to go up to every single woman that you like, but it's part of how you carry yourself. It's how you talk. It's also, I would venture to guess that in your career, your business, whatever that you do for a living, you're probably a very timid, very shy person that doesn't speak up, doesn't stand up for himself, and that's not attractive to women. That's why you've struggled, is because they're not going to make all of the effort, but the same token, even in women that do approach you and start talking to you, it's like they can tell by looking at you that you're probably very effeminate and you're very unsure of yourself, and you don't act like a man who is used to getting what he wants. It's like you're sitting around, looking around, waiting for somebody else to solve your problem. You must participate in your own rescue. If you want your personal life to get better, the guy that you see in the mirror, that's the only one that can make it better. And unless you're content with the way things are, which it doesn't sound like you are from the tone of your email, what's your choice? You can continue to do what you've always done, and therefore you'll continue to get what you've always got. But what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So my advice is read my book. I've done numerous videos on improving your social skills. One of them is called How to Improve Your Social Skills, and it's going to the mall. So you can Google Corey Wayne improving your social skills and watch that video and get out there and start talking to people and making the effort to develop your social skills, because not only will it help you in your personal life, but it'll help you in business, your career, and it'll cause other men to have respect for you, because otherwise a guy like you that acts the way you do is probably going to get made fun of a lot and teased a lot because you're so shy and timid. So if you got a question or a situation you'd like to get my help with personally, the quickest way to get my help, because right now, like the emails that I've got, I'm about 3.5 weeks behind. So if you've written me an email and you're expecting an instant answer, I answer emails in the order in which they're received. If you want to book a paid phone coaching session and get my undivided attention for an hour, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And it usually takes me about a week to get you fitted into my schedule. So if you book a session today, it'll be about a week from now before I can fit you in. Maybe sooner, it just depends. Sometimes it's 2 weeks because it's supply and demand. So I will talk to you soon.